Look, I always wonder why I'm so invested. Are you in tune with the right kid? It's cold and messy. You saw a seed in my palm, really I sold a blessing. The niggas round you getting older, showing no progression. I turn my mind into a fully loaded weapon. No suggestions, a little crib notes to ease the lesson.
Yo, you know, it's so nice when artists are here. You know, it's so nice when artists are here and artists are on time. What might not particularly be so great is when those artists are on your chart. You know, when those artists
like
are
this.
on the chart.
Like this, innit? Nah.
You know, and they're like, hey man, so how do we move up on the chart? My man!
Yeah, I mean, we just got in the chart, you know, that's the hustle. So now, obviously, you need to think about, like, levels. Like, okay, cool, so what's the next level after getting into the chart? That's all it is.
Okay, just a question. Am I on the chart? No, let's talk about it. No, let's talk about it. I mean, you're asking me for advice on how you can move up on the chart, and I'm like, why do you regard me so highly that you think I have the tips and tricks on how to move on up? So let's start. Am I on the chart?
No, you're not.
Do I have what it takes to be on the chart?
That would require a session and, like, for me to see.
So you don't know if I've got what it takes, but here you are asking me what it takes
to move up on the, okay, so you're saying that I'm probably asking the wrong person.
You know what I like about you, Daddy Longstem? You are hella sharp.
Hi.
What's up, Longstem? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing, Queen?
I'm really, really good. So I saw you not too long ago when Black Ace was here.
Yeah.
But before that,
I
had not seen you in a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
That was intentional.
Where's the love?
Nah, it's not about there not being any love. It's just for me to be able to love, I needed to learn to self-love.
Ooh, dropping the gems already.
You know what I mean? Like, so
already. Wait. That needs one of these. Yeah.
It's crazy. There's actually a bar in this project where I'm like, that hiatus was to sober my thoughts. Like more than myself. Like, I just needed to sober my thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, just get more to the point with what I'm doing, how I'm moving, how I'm thinking. And that takes time to figure out when you're creative, you know what I mean? Because you not only want to do it, but you want to do it in a very unique way. And so I've just been figuring myself out, man. It took a couple years, 2-3 years.
Right.
Yeah, just segued, started doing a lot more different things, like working with Marley and just producing records Marley. And you know what I mean? And like getting back to like writing songs, because for a long time I wasn't writing, so
hectic.
Yeah. So that's probably, to answer your question, that's probably why you haven't seen me like prior to that interaction. I've just been getting right,
All right, so it's just gone 7 minutes after 7 o'clock. If you just plugged in, it is The Element, and everything is rocking, real and relevant, and all for the love of hip-hop. I'm kicking it with Daddy Longstem, saying that he hasn't shown me love because it's not about me, it's about him.
No.
I'm kidding, I'm totally twisting your words. He went and took a hiatus just to get right. But now that he's right, he's going to be here until we hit to 8 o'clock and chopping it up with me. There's a lot going on in studio. There's a little Nunu in the studio. Oh my God. I wonder if this is a sign from God.
This is the second time that we have him up in here, hey?
Yeah. It's tricky now.
Why?
Because I can't ignore it now. It's tricky now. I can't ignore it now. So I might have to go say some prayers, because also it doesn't help that I've been feeling so broody. But we can talk about that a little bit more just now. 8 minutes after 7 o'clock, I'm playing you Daddy Longstem and DJ Zan D with The Energy, and then we're going to talk a whole lot more. Good evening.
Energy's fine.
It's just gone 12 minutes after 7 o'clock. If you just plugged in, that grunt that you just heard is not mine. It belongs to Daddy Longstem. He's going to be with me until we hit 8 o'clock, talking all things music, talking all things life, talking all things black privilege, and whatever else you really want to tell me.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I mean, we can get into all of that. You know what I mean?
Do you want to bare your soul?
You can get into
do you
all
trust
of that.
me?
I'm here, right?
You are.
He's here.
So there's a lot for us to unpack. Like I say, I knew you years ago, Daddy Longstem, and now there's a development. It's not just Daddy Longstem.
Yeah.
There's the Us as well. Tell me about that.
So, the Us is like an alternative music duo. Myself and Marley Blue. And it's more like we came together to do this like stupid reality show on SABC.
Okay.
And it just like it was really stupid. They were like making us remix other people's songs and stuff. But like we just took it and we were like, all right, cool. So I'm nice. She plays like 6 or 7 instruments and sings, and she's a producer and a mixing mastering engineer and a designer and a tattoo artist.
Yo, why am I
so
talking to you?
You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? So I just looked at it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. You know? So let's just like hook up and just do this. And then like the Us turned into like something crazy because we got to go around the country together. Like we did Durban, Plet, Cape Town. And then 2 shows in Joburg. Shout out to Contest SA for that. It's like this organization out of the Samro building, and they help artists. So right now during COVID, they giving artists grants for like virtual tours. So if you like paying attention, you're looking to do like touring, they give us a lot of support to just go around the country. You know what I mean, and see what that's about. Spend the money right and just report back to them. You know.
Yeah.
And then we got to like get some of our videos played, but more than anything we've just been trying to like move into the visuals and the visual space. Yeah, graphics and content, you know what I mean? So that's what we've been building as the Us, you know, and that's sort of where my time's been invested as well, you know, a lot of my time. And then obviously being a dad, you know,
Yay!
you know, shout out to my young and making ad-libs right now in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear him,
gorgeous.
But being a father's been like one of the most testing yet beautiful things.
Talk to me about that, because I mean, like your son's pretty young.
Yeah.
And it's such a crazy time. And being a parent is overwhelming and a huge adjustment, even under normal circumstances. But you did not have the most normal of circumstances.
Yeah, I mean,
tell me about
it was not normal for anybody. Like finding out any big news this time last year is just like not normal. You know what I mean? Because of what was going on. So for us, it was just like, okay, so what do we do? Because you know, this is a life. Firstly, we're so the other option is just not an option. We're not even gonna think about that. This guy's coming and he's here. What do we do? You know,
yeah, and that's the first choice that you gotta make.
You know, and you just sort of grow up. You know, make some tough decisions. We now went from staying with my parents. We're in our own space. You know, moving into another space. We've just racked up on a whole lot of equipment. We're filming like every other day and just like so we just decided to lock into what exactly we're about, you know. And that helped us figure it out and navigate it to this point, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that didn't make it out, bro, and I'm talking creatively, I'm talking like artistically, just like a lot of people that were just swallowed by this thing, bro. It's so sad that something like this could come through and change so many lives, you know what I mean, in an instant, very quickly, you know what I mean. And for me, that was the real sink or swim. Like, are you gonna drown, or you know what I mean?
It was that real.
Marley
what are you
has
made
this
of?
hook. We chose to rise, bro. You know what I mean? Like we had no choice.
Right.
You know what I mean? So every decision now, even every thought of mine, like I have no choice. There's no I don't feel like doing that if I have to do it. Get up, wash your ass, and get the job done. Right. You know what I mean? That's sort of where I've been at, man. Just like navigating that. Yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah. But it's what God will give you if it's what you've been neglecting this entire time.
Ah.
You know what I mean? Like, you ask God, I want to be strong. He's not going to give you a six-pack and abs. He's going to give you an opportunity to show strength.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's how you interpret it and how you choose to act in that test and in that. And I mean, so without realizing, I ask God for a lot. Like, all the time. We all do. We ask him for a lot. And we don't realize that when we go through very difficult things, that's the opportunity to get that thing that you had asked him for. He's giving you the chance to.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just need to walk through and just believe just a little. And I'm not the most spiritual or religious person. I'm just saying, like, if you think about it that way, you're not gonna necessarily get the blessings you ask for the way that you want them.
That is so true. And it's a conversation that I have with my best friend often, for instance, and she'll always say, just because it's not wrapped up the way that you had imagined it in the box and the bow, it does not mean that it's not the thing.
Dude.
So where is your focus? Are you focused on how it looks, or are you focused on what it is?
What it is, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've been trying to just navigate that, because like there's a lot of things like the 18-19-year-old me would definitely slap this guy for. But I feel like there's even more that he would thank him for. Like, Doug, thanks for following through with this. This is what we said we're gonna do. Doug, thanks for keeping this up. This is what we said we're gonna do. You know, you flopped here a little, but well done, bruh. And we sort of miss that sometimes. Like, no, man, 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, when I made this decision that I wanted to do and be this thing, like, you know what I mean?
Amen.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Doug. So I'm always measuring my initial expectation coming into this music hip hop thing versus where I'm actually at, and I'm always like, I'm very blessed to know the people that I know. You just mentioned Black Ace. He's like one of the artists that I've been surrounded by through this journey. You know what I mean? I'm like in a position where I could chill another 4 or 5 years, pop up again, and get the dopest features just off of the people that I know. Like,
that's beautiful.
Yeah,
because not everybody can say that.
You know what I mean? Small things, but when you came into the game, you were thinking fame and all of this because I was a kid, not realizing that, no, bro, this thing is based off of relationships, and there's a lot of public statements and sentiments that I've shared that have resulted in me being blocked, like, be it on social media, be it on, should I say blackballed? Is that really a thing?
I mean, you would be the one to tell me. Is it a thing? Have you experienced blackballing?
I think so, but I don't want to, like, because now, like, I'd be like delving into conspiracy, but there's things that I've said and done while young that obviously I'm saying I wouldn't, but I think that same guy was trying to become something that will ultimately change a lot of people's lives, and that's the road that I've been on, meeting a lot of different. I have this bar, like, it's crazy, I keep referencing the bars in the album, and it sounds arrogant when I say it. I'm the best in this whole town, because it's like, bro, come to me, I got the sauce on my WhatsApp, like, yo, I'm chilling with like artists like Dave Marsh and Thomas Hazy, like just a whole lot of just different people that are like, I look at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, Hazy, like 5-6 years and done, just keep going,
right?
You know what I mean? And they look at me and like, oh bro, your shit is what we look at. Sorry, can I cuss?
I mean, you just did, but maybe not going forward.
my bad. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where I've been at. Relationship building, filming, you know, like I'm saying, I'm big on films, bro. I'm big on like cinematic stuff, and I hope it comes out when you listen to the Sonics, because I try to build a lot of scenery. And
so we're going to talk about the project specifically a whole lot right about now. So it's just gone 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. I'm going to play you, it's moving that quick, So I'm going to play you Daddy Longstem and DJ Zan D with a joint called The Black Man featuring Marley Blue, and then we're going to get into the thick of Black privilege. I'm super excited, and before anybody asks me, yes, I have listened to the project. It's just gone 26 minutes after 7 o'clock. It is The Element, where everything is rocking, real and relevant, and all for the love of hip-hop. Kicking it with the Daddy Longstem and whoa. Ad-libs everywhere. You know what's crazy? This cute little nana said not a word, sound, peep, nothing off air. And the mics went on, and almost instinctively, it was like, yeah,
this is it.
The time is now. I think you must call me in like 18 years and let me know, like, is he a radio personality?
Accountant.
Is he a TV personality? Is he a
scientist?
A singer, rapper? Those things don't involve mics. What are you doing?
What do you
go with the theme? Go with the theme.
I'm just throwing it out there that he might end up growing up to be some other stuff that we didn't even calculate. Like,
true.
Like imagine Mac G telling his mom 20 years ago, "Mom, I'm gonna be a podcaster."
You know, the thing about it is, at the time, people might
didn't even exist. You know what I mean?
Right? But look now.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, there's a mic involved. That's how I feel about it. Just judging from what I've experienced today, and I think you need to wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
And in 18 years, I'm probably gonna call you and go, "Hey, ain't that your kid? Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you?"
Everybody says to me, if he ends up being whack, then I've failed as a dad. So I kind of take that one personally.
You know, kids grow up and do their own thing. Not
like,
everything
he has to rap. He has to rap. I'm like, oh, gosh, guys. Okay.
No, let's not put pressure on the kid. All right, 28 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're delving into black privilege right about now. All right. So, 9 joints.
Yeah, 9 of them things, man.
Why 9?
It was supposed to be 10.
Okay, I like to hear that. It helps me a little bit. So I've got a touch of OCD.
Yeah.
I can't understand
why
this uneven number, and it's so close to being perfect.
Yeah.
It's so close.
Yeah. No, it was very deliberate.
Why?
It was supposed to be 10. So how this whole thing came about was off of a tweet. Mm-hmm. I was in this like place where I was like, okay, cool. So we should probably get back to working on the Daddy Longstem brand. What would be super on brand? Be like, oh man, it would be crazy if we went like made a whole like bunch of tracks with the DJ, and he's just like cutting and spinning on those tracks. And then I was like, but which DJ? Mm-hmm. Then I was like, Zan D's kind of cool. Right. So I tweeted him. I was like, yo, it would be really crazy if I could just rap over you like DJing, bro. That would be really buck. So he tweeted me back. We weren't even following each other. He tweeted me back. It's like, yo, bro, hit me. Let's work on stuff. Think about it, bro. Like, the first idea, I'm like, okay, I think I should do this just to come back. It's like, bro, hit me. Let's do it. And he hit me back, and I told him the idea. He was like, nah, bro. If we're really going to do this thing, let's make music. Mm-hmm. So, unbeknownst to him, I also produce. So I'm sitting on like a stash of beats. So I say to him, let's send music back and forth, and then we start doing that. And I got to the point where it's the second month now. Mm-hmm. We've got like 7 songs. It's the third month. We've got like 9, the 9 that I was on the project. And I played it back, and I was like, Ish, dog, you're also so OCD and so pedantic. Like, just release, bro.
Right.
Because he's also like, yo, bro, let's put this stuff out.
Right.
Because every time I send him a song, he's like, yo, that's dope. Yo, that's dope. Yo, that's dope. He'll send me a beat. I send the song back. Marley did the hook already. We've mixed, mastered it, send it back. He's like, oh my gosh. So he was like ready to go, I think around 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. So I was the one pushing the envelope and pushing it back, like, yo, bro, one more, yo, bro, one more, yo,
so
bro.
It's your fault that we're at 9 and not essentially.
Yeah. I can take the blame for that.
Okay. Yeah, okay. But
when you listen to it, it's enough.
I suppose so. You see, I hate that fact because then my OCD brain goes, come on.
One more.
Come on. And then when I listen, I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Now, you are a producer.
Yeah.
You are a super dope rapper. And then you link up with an incredible DJ.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of skill.
Yeah.
And a lot of creativity between the two of you.
Yeah.
But practically, how would it work with the DJ and rapper, producer, engineer? How does it work? What exactly did you do and he do, and how did it all come together?
Oh, in terms of making the music itself?
Yeah.
Oh no, so he was more A&Ring and like finding beats. Mm-hmm. And there's I think 3 because he also added scratches on the intro song.
Yes.
But most of the other stuff is like produced by either by myself or some other producers. I then recorded the stuff by myself, and I'd send him stuff, and he'd be like, okay, cool. Because of COVID, we couldn't necessarily be together.
Right.
So we were sending stuff back and forth, and there was very little like chopping and changing. Like I'd send him something and be like, bro, that's dope. Okay, cool. And then he sent me a track, I think it's called Today.
I love Today.
That was from him. So he sent me.
That. Shout out to DJ Zan D. That's one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah. He sent me that. It was completely different the first time. And then we sort of added stuff to it, as well as Rise. Rise, we only used the keys from the producer that sent the stuff, and then myself and Marley remade the entire thing. So it was more like that, like just like finding sounds together, you know what I mean? And I think that's the main purpose of a DJ. That's what a DJ does. He's a curator of sounds. I would love to have been in studio with him and like actually like have him there, like, yo bro, okay, we're going, this is the rhythm, this is the tempo, what do you think from that perspective, you know? But that's how the sounds came together. And then the raps was pretty easy, especially with the features, you know. I picked features that were nearby. I didn't try and go too far. Although it's unfortunate. I really wanted Ginger Trill on this project. Like,
it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Trilly.
Hey, shout out Trilly. I'm send you a tweet, bro. That's how you know it's real, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's the only person that I really wanted and we couldn't get.
You know what you could do?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you could reach out to Trilly and then re-release this with 10 songs on it, and the 10th deluxe could be the one with Trilly on it, and everybody will be happy.
And that'll mostly you.
Mostly. I have to believe that there are more people out there like me. I can't be the only one like this.
People are playing this thing, bro, and it's like, to me, I don't know, man. As artists, we're supposed to be arrogant. Like, yeah, I mean, I get streams. Yeah, I stream, I get streams, boy. But every artist can't lie that there's always that, like, I mean, are they really gonna bump this ish though?
Right.
I mean, that's sort of why I asked you that dumb question. Like, I hope you listen to the project, because it comes from that. Like, yo, like, okay, I see these numbers going up. Yo, are you guys really playing this stuff? And then you'll walk in, like I just walked in now, and you were playing the music. I'm like, oh snap, okay. So from the studio to the world, it's real. It's really buck. It's really bug for me.
Why do you sound surprised by that? Because I mean, you created not to hold on to it. You didn't create for yourself. You created at some point with the intention of releasing it to the world. Of it being out there. So which part of you was like, oh my God, it's really out there. Oh my God, they're actually listening. Whoa.
That comes from, like I'm saying, just that uncertain place. Like, yo, I was already a very alternative artist that I would say people knew about, but not a lot of people were paying attention to. I do have my core audience that I speak to and I engage fiercely, so I know those people are going to listen to it. But it's always that, like, man, is this thing going to like reach new human beings? And then you see it doing that, and it's like, oh snap, dope.
That actually happened.
Yeah, dope. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Hype Magazine. Oh, dope. Or this such and such a publication. Dope, bro. This is like, oh, okay, cool. So we're back. You know what I mean? Like, the energy's back. You know what I mean? I even know it's the first song on the thing, and I'm like, I'm the energy the culture needs, and arrogant. There's always that person inside, man, that I really hope I could get rid of, because like, if I didn't have any self-doubt, I feel like I'd just execute a lot of my ideas a lot better. But he's always there, like, are they really gonna get it? Are they? You know what I mean? Because you can even ask Marley. I spent a lot of time dumbing the bars down on this project, like a lot.
Why?
Because I feel like I'm not direct enough.
Okay.
Like, let's get to this bar. You know?
Do you think that's necessarily a bad thing?
Yeah, because ain't none cornier than a fast rapping ass nigga. what are you saying, bro? And I had a lot of that in the way I was saying things. You know what I mean? Like,
I hate dirty.
you know what I mean? Like, I just saw myself going that way, and I was like, my nigga, but those aren't the bars, bro.
Right.
Like, yeah. So I just had to change up a few things, and like I'm saying, maybe Dumb Down is I've simplified the structure of how I'm writing and how I'm delivering.
That sounds a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
Because when you say dumb down, it also unintentionally makes it seem like your audience doesn't understand you.
Yeah.
You know
No. Yeah. That's why I had to reword it. I've just had to simplify the way that I'm rapping and not too lyrical, miracle-y and syllables and no. I'm like, if it's a punchline and a setup and I've just made a statement and like if it's a flow that I was trying to show you in that thing, like I'm not trying to mix too many elements of rap together anymore to show you that I'm dope. You know what I mean? I've stretched it out over like songs now. You know what I mean? You might find like a song with one flow just because I was trying to show you that. So I've been tinkering, you know what I mean? Like,
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So 23 minutes to go before we hit 8 o'clock. We're just going to take a little bit of a breather and then we're going to come back. I have so many more questions.
Yeah.
Amen. You know, the show has my name on it, but today it actually does not belong to me.
It's been taken over.
Yeah, that's what that is. So if you just walked in, it is The Element and I'm kicking it with Daddy Longstem. Now, so, right. So when I saw Black Privilege, I was like, man, I like this, right? But I want us to unpack that a little bit more, right? So when you look up what white privilege is, right? I'm going to give you this.
Give me the textbook.
Yeah, this dictionary.
I actually didn't even do this. Yeah. What is the...
Right. So white privilege is defined as inherent advantages possessed by a white person on the basis of their race in a society characterized by racial inequality and injustice. Okay, one more time. White privilege is defined as inherent advantages possessed by a white person on the basis of their race in a society characterized by racial inequality and injustice. Right?
Damn.
Super easy to find out. Go into Google, just white privilege definition.
Check that out, yeah.
Now, if you go onto Google and you say Black privilege,
yeah.
You don't get that.
There's not even an explanation
it's
of
not like that.
What it is.
So you're gonna give it to us.
No, you can't.
What you mean? No, it is the name of your whole project.
Yeah, it is. I guess I didn't name it from that perspective, and
right.
Those should be the things that you take into consideration when you are making statements.
Right. But then, to you,
yeah.
What is black privilege and how do we understand it in this particular context?
I think I named the project Black Privilege so the conversation is had. And it's rather centered around a question. And I want to pose this question to you. What is African art? Is there such a thing as African art?
Sure. What makes it African?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What makes it African? Is it by virtue of you being African? Is it the sound or the look or the feel or the aesthetic? Or what makes it African?
We had locked into this question previously with Marley, and we were trying to we were running down this rabbit hole because we dropped this album called Made in Africa.
Right.
Yeah, and the cover for it was some masks from these tribes out in Kenya.
Yeah.
And we had the synopsis breakdown, and we actually made the painting. There's a full canvas of it that's currently on our wall. If anybody wants to pick it up for 50K, holla at me.
Yo.
But
y'all got 50K?
Nah, scream at me, King. This is handmade by Marley Blue herself, bro. You know what
dope. I mean? But Marley, what can't you do? Lord.
So, to cut a long story short, it led us to ask the question, are these masks a good representation of African art?
Right.
Then it became the question of what is African art, and we had this thing in our proposal, speaking to investors. We're trying to sell an art piece, right? And this really knowledgeable time actually said, no, you guys don't know what you're speaking about. There's no such thing as African art. Being African is art. Africans are art.
Oh, I like that.
Africans
Being
are
African
is art.
Art. Oh, let me write that down. Art.
African people are artistic from when they wake up. That's why all of our rondavilles will look different, even though we're in the same village. We'll go to war, but all of our spears are slightly decorated differently. We have all of these beads and patterns that are so inherent into our culture that being African is art. Down to some of the calabash and pots that you'll see, they're all decorated. Being like it's who we are.
Yeah.
So I then figured out to myself that that's where our black privilege lies, because there's no other race that can really say that. Like, I am art, dog.
So then how do you feel? That was incredibly powerful. I don't know why you were tripping on like I don't know what I'm to say.
yeah.
How then do all these 9 joints feed into that greater narrative? How does the energy, black man, get it right, rise, godly favors?
Listen to those titles. Listen to those titles, dog.
Of course, the joint with Black Ace on it is called Icky. Of course.
Nah, that one's the one where we took a little bit of a lift, like
a detour.
Yo, smoke break, nyana. And he was like, "I dog, nah, cool." But listen to those titles. Run them back again.
All right. The energy.
Yeah.
Black man. Get it right. Rise. Godly favors. The cure. Icky. Today. Full circle.
Full circle. So, like, can you feel every single track name that you've said is a statement in its own?
Yes.
Like it's a very powerful, either a very powerful word or a very powerful, what do you call it, a binomial when you have two? Nah.
Yo.
Yeah. Ish. Yeah. Those things. But it's it makes you feel some sort of way just reading the track title.
Right.
And that's how I tried to like tie in this whole concept of black privilege, like I wouldn't say pillars, but the things we should be thinking about. And even if you listen to the hooks, especially Marley's hooks, Marley hits home every time.
Yes, she does. Because I'm convinced now Marley was lawyer. I feel like there's nothing that she can't do.
She can't do,
well.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one thing to do something, but well.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And she writes the stuff herself as well, you know, so.
Batong Marley! I mean, what is this?
You know what I mean? So it's just like driving home those, like, I'm gonna name this project something that's gonna be thought-provoking. I'm gonna make each song title something thought-provoking.
Yes.
You know, because I come from a whole 4 or 5 years of just making songs and calling them whatever, and I just want to rap, and you know what I mean. So this as well. What this entire project is me trying something different. You know, I haven't collabed with someone like a DJ Zan D or collab like that in general. You know, I haven't. I'm a hoarder of music. I've probably got over 1,000 songs right now, different hard drives and stuff that you probably never heard.
That is ridiculous.
I'm a hoarder of music,
that is ridiculous.
You know what I mean? So I just try something new. Just let it go, bro. Okay, it's not 10, it's not perfect. Put it out, bro. You know what I mean? I've got a bunch of verses that I already had. Okay, cool, fix it here. All right, this is the hook. Like, it was a different process, you know. I wasn't going through my usual process, because a lot of the times, like, it was like beats from other people, you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas with a lot of my music, I'm very hands-on, like, boom, che, I'm there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
My goodness.
Like, I'm that guy, and then I'm gonna be there when it's being mixed and mastered, and then I'm gonna be there when we're talking about the video. I'm probably gonna hold the camera in the shoot for that video.
Hectic.
And you know what I mean? I'm gonna edit the video myself, and you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like those are all of the people that snubbed me and wouldn't do those things for me in the past that forced me to learn those skills and use them against them in the future myself. So, hade, guys.
Hade,
you know what I mean?
Sorry, but you made me do it.
You didn't want to do this stuff, so I had to go figure out. I had to open Photoshop and be like, okay, what's this thing about? And open Final Cut. Okay, what's this thing about? Now, I mean, I already was an audio engineer. That's not hard. I'm mixing these two worlds now. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why the project is how it is now. This one, it's just new stuff, bro. I'm trying something new.
So I wrote some things that you were saying, and I want us to talk about them. You know, just a little bit. We've got 13. I hope this math is right. Yes, we've got 13 minutes.
I hope
to go.
It's not the problematic ones.
I'm nice. You know, I'm a very nice human, but I just like having these kinds of conversations. So 13 minutes to go before we hit 8 o'clock, before we actually close the show, and 13 minutes with me and you, right? So My notes. It's not that hectic. All right. So, I found it interesting earlier on when you were saying, like, you're not necessarily the most religious and spiritual person, because you said, I found guidance in the Lord. He was a shield to the pain.
Hey, that's actually hazy, yeah.
Oh, yes, that was actually
that's a hazy bar,
right.
Yeah. But I relate to that bar, man. I relate to that bar. Funny enough, we were actually supposed to have Ili Amin on that song, and he didn't send in the verse in time, which was not a problem, because Hazy is really close to me as well. But that's a very tough bar, man. He's been going through his own spiritual journey, which I won't speak on his behalf.
Definitely not.
But yeah, you can hear it in his music, and that's obviously that's something he would definitely say.
Where is your spirituality at? And I suppose that once you become a parent and you become responsible for another human, just your perspective on things in general shifts a little bit.
Yeah.
Where are you at right now
in terms of God? Spirituality.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm an avid believer in karma, and that's where I've been sort of locked in at, trying to spread good karma, good vibrations with the artists that I surround myself with. Because I spend so much time putting negative karma out there, like even I've sat and audited my bars, bro, and I'm like, yo, dog, that's anti-Semitic. Yo, bro, that ain't it. That's kind of racist. Yo, bro, nah, that ain't it. That's kind of sexist. Like, so even the way that I'm saying and doing things and giving it up right now comes with a little bit of that understanding of like, yo, man, put good vibes out there, bro. There's a lot more dancey and vibey records in this thing, you know what I mean, rather than good deep la yo electrical yeah know what I mean, dog.
I hate that Longstem.
Oh, sorry.
Go fine.
Ash, yeah, I need my bad. It's because I feel like I'm at home, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just making that decision, like, let's just jump off the deep end, dude. And best believe it's rap and more. I'd never do something like that to just gamble on rap.
Right.
I mean, okay. There's certain things that I'm looking into. There's certain things that I'm about. Obviously, I told you that the lens is my thing.
Yes.
So yeah. I'm gonna be cooking a lot of that and just digging into that and getting to be a dad, man. You know what I mean?
Your son is
really fun.
Cute AF.
It's awesome. Now imagine being you sitting there and you have to work and he's right there and he's screaming at you. Oh my gosh. Look at him.
He's absolutely incredible. All right, so we've got 3 minutes to go. And lastly, just as we close, of course, we're going to close out with The Cure.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff has happened over the past few years. Facts. A lot of transition, a lot of additions, a lot of you having to develop.
Yeah.
So as your parting shot, throughout all of this, what have you learned about yourself that you really appreciate and hope that people will also get through your music?
Damn. I have learned that I am not the guy that dunks the ball. I'm the guy that does the layup. Like if you think of the alley-oop play, yes. like it starts with the gent that has the ball from yes. the other end of the court, he times it.
Yes.
Now there's people in my circle that are there for that. I thought I was the guy that gets to dunk. You know what I mean? That can just be lazy, run from the back the whole time. You guys are busy passing. I just need to run and get there on time and just
give it to me. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I learned that I'm actually the guy that does the layup and someone else has to dunk. And what I would impart to other people is to learn that about themselves. Learn which role you're playing, because it's a team sport. You know, even though it's always two of us, there's a mechanism to how we eventually move, and it's gonna come back soon, and like everyone's gonna see, like, oh snap, these ones do events, these ones do this. Let me not speak too much, but like, oh, and they move with this ones, and they're like, yeah. We're a whole circle. We're a whole circle of disgruntled artists and MCs, and I think we've sort of figured it out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So yeah. For me, like, that's what I'd like people to learn about themselves. Learn how you fit into the greater whole and stop thinking it's about you.
I like that.
You know
and I think I'm just going to add on to that and just say that And if that role changes, that's also okay.
That's also fine. You know what I mean? Like if you have to sit on the bench for a little bit because the team needs to win, dog, you have a really bad knee. We need someone that can jump right now.
Hey, and I've got them back.
You know what I mean?
The left.
Yeah, dude, you just need to like understand that, yo, you're a greater part to a whole. You know what I mean? There's like things that need to happen, because even artists like Russ lying when he's like, yo, I do this alone.
Yes.
No, there's a manager, boss. There's this person. Yeah, you're never alone. You fit into a greater part of a whole. So just learn who you are in that, and you'll be all right, bro.
And you'll be all right. Thank you, Daddy Longstem.
Not a problem,
We've officially reached the end of the show. Congratulations on Black Privilege.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on everything.
I thought I was going to get the rap for you guys, man.
Man, listen. You're going to come back. That much I know. That much I'm aware of. But also we spoke a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
But we'll make sure that people get the raps. So shout out to you. Shout out to DJ Zan D. Shout out to Molly Blue and everybody else who was a part of the project. And shout out to you who's listening. I really got to be out. It's 8 o'clock. I am still going to play you Daddy Longstem and DJ Zan D with The Cure. And then, as always, in everything that you do, make sure that you are in your element. And while being in your element, keep it pristine. Good night. Catch you tomorrow, 6 p.m.